Well, the search for happiness, like the fountain of youth, sometimes seems to elude many of us, but there are some things that happy people share, and our next guest has explored them in his new book, Full Heart Living, Conversations with the Happiest People I Know, and it is our pleasure to welcome psychologist, life coach, and author Tom Glaser to tell us all about it. Welcome. Good to have you here today.
Thanks for having me, Pat. It's a
What
pleasure.
brought you to the subject and the book?
Well, ironically, one of the unhappiest periods in my own adult life. I had this job that I loved. It was my passion. I thought I was going to retire there. And as things go, things changed. And I was no longer happy there. I left the job. And through my grief from my job, I started noticing, from my hairdresser to the woman in the office next door to me, there were these very happy people, otherwise completely ordinary, but extraordinarily happy people. And I started to just get really curious. You know, what did they do? And so I noticed and I started asking questions. And this just snowballed into this project where I videotaped. I asked a bunch of questions of 9 of the happiest people I personally know. And I
like that what you did, though, with an unhappy period, rather than be more introspective, you went and put yourself out.
Yes.
And you started to listen to what others had to say. And
Yes.
you've come up with some things, and we want to discuss them right now. The 3 main full heart messages, the beginning with connecting with others.
Yes, that is the #1 thing I learned from these people. They have great relationships with other people, and they make the most of them.
How do you connect with yourself? That's the next thing that you...
#2 is connecting with oneself. The main thing here is what many of us call mindfulness. Now, not everybody uses that term. Some people say awareness or presence, but it's being in the present moment so you don't miss the good things that happen.
How do you, and that begs, how do you find purpose then?
How do you find purpose? Yes, yes. That's where by listening to ourselves, right? If we know what brings us joy, then we can find our passion, which is the 3rd thing I learned from people. People who are happy do things that they absolutely adore, and they do a lot of it.
Do they tend to be things that they're doing for others?
That, if it can be in the service of others, that's definitely a bonus. And that's kind of brings it full circle. So not only does it bring me great joy, but if it benefits others as well, then it's kind of the holy grail.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, then the people that you've talked to here and your own experiences, searching for happiness isn't really the approach you should be taking.
Not at all. Not at all. It may be a byproduct of connecting with other people, connecting deeply with yourself, and following your passions. Exactly.
Well, it's a fascinating subject and one that we've barely scraped
Yes.
here, but we appreciate you here today, and
Great to be
thank you.
here.
It's clear that you're fulfilling your mission, and
You
that's
got that
a great
right.
thing. There's always that. Well, you can find Full Heart Living wherever books are sold. Head to KARE11.com. Look into the shows tab in the news at 4 for details.